Hello there.
Okay, so in Jurassic World Rebirth, the whole thing seems to center around the D-Rex, around the idea of mutated dinosaurs. That seems to be the way the plot is going to go in this film, with them having to extract DNA from 3 mutant dinosaurs to help come up with some kind of cure for heart disease or something like that. That seems to be the plot of this movie, but the most interesting concept in this story and the most controversial aspect is the concept of mutant dinosaurs, of evolved dinosaurs, and how far are they going to take this kind of stuff in this franchise. Well, in this video, we have even more scenes apparently leaked out that are involving the D-Rex and fighting potential dinosaurs that are going to excite you guys if you enjoy this kind of stuff. Of course, if you don't like spoilers, you shouldn't even be watching my channel. Get far away from it. Freaking block me, okay? Do not watch this channel. But if you enjoy discussing this kind of stuff, we are going to get into some potential fights that the D-Rex is set to have, according to some leaks that I have from somebody who reached out to me. So this is exclusive to this channel. Take all this with a grain of salt. It's not coming from a super reliable leaker, but apparently this is what we're set to see in Jurassic World Rebirth, involving human deaths, involving dinosaur fights. It seems like the D-Rex is going to be doing a lot in this movie, so we're getting into it all in this video. If you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, then subscribe to my channel. I have a bunch more content just like this, and let's get into it.
The Atomic Fair.
Okay, so we are a very short time away from seeing Jurassic World Rebirth. A few months from now, we will have seen the film, so all of this stuff I'm going to be discussing, we're going to find out whether it's true or not very shortly. But this looks to be the most drastically different Jurassic film that we have had since the very first movie even, or maybe even since the third film, I would say, with Jurassic World, you know, and the sequel to Jurassic World, and even the third film. The first film really resembled the original Jurassic Park film in a lot of ways, kind of similar to how The Force Awakens resembled A New Hope, and then the subsequent sequels were just not very good. But with Jurassic World Rebirth, we look to be going back to formula, making dinosaurs scary again, and introducing an all-new threat in the D-Rex. Now, this is a trademarked name, so there is going to be a longer name when the movie actually comes out, but right now we are calling it the D-Rex. A lot of people think it's going to be the Diabolus Rex, which was a scrapped name for the Indominus Rex. But what's crazy about this dinosaur is at the opening of the film, apparently, according to this guy who reached out to me, is set to see the D-Rex escaping from captivity and killing people who are working in the lab. This is going to be a flashback scene to its youth. The D-Rex is apparently very old in this movie, probably existing in the early 90s, I would imagine, when the first park was being created, and is a failed attempt at a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So a lot of people were thinking Scarlett Johansson is involved in that scene in the lab, or I guess Zora Bennett is the character's name. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this is going to strictly be a flashback scene to when that island was in operation and was being used to try to create the dinosaurs that were ultimately going to be used for Hammond's Park. Now, this dinosaur escapes captivity and becomes the apex predator of the island by bullying other dinosaurs, apparently. I'm not sure if this thing is just going to kill for pleasure or kill for show or make examples out of other dinosaurs. I'm not sure how that's going to be explained in the movie, but they do say, according to this person who reached out to me, that this is going to be bullying other smaller dinosaurs or other predators on the island. So it seems like, to me, the D-Rex is going to be kind of playing a little bit of mind games. It seems like it's going to be a hyper intelligent dinosaur, as well as being a failed experiment, as well as being a mutation, which lines up perfectly with the early leaks we were hearing about this movie, including the addition of a potential smaller mutant dinosaur. But we were hearing that they want to touch on the idea of evolved, hyper evolved dinosaurs that are even more intelligent than a raptor. And if the D-Rex is that, then it would make sense how, even though it's kind of stocky, kind of slow, and kind of oogly is the word that the person who reached out to me said, even though all of these characteristics will be applied to the D-Rex, it will also be hyper intelligent, making it able to be the apex predator of the island. But this is what I'm hearing about this movie, okay? So I'm just gonna read the leak so nothing gets misinterpreted. It says that the 3 Spinos take the D-Rex out in the finale. There is no Spino from Jurassic Park 3 returning. The D-Rex is old and is a failed experiment. There are human deaths. The fight scenes are good. There is no Rex Spino rematch. The Rex is bigger and thicker than Rexy. The D-Rex villain is going to be defeated by the 3 Spinosauruses in the end. The opening scene is the D-Rex escape. Zora and the crew have no idea about any of this. The sinister, shocking discovery is that were experiments that were failed during the cloning. The D-Rex caused the downfall of the project. It ties into the story by them exploring into the lab and finding all of this out by reading notes that the scientists have left behind during the D-Rex escape. The D-Rex is a failed mutated T-Rex. The three Spinosauruses fight it. That's our rematch on the big screen. The scene in the lab is when the D-Rex is a youngster and is a flashback. It is preparing us for what happens in the movie. The sinister, shocking discovery is a lab with failed mutated experiments. The D-Rex, not her real name, is slow and not as fast as the three Spinosauruses. One of the Spinos is apparently killed, but this is what's most interesting here, is that the D-Rex is apparently set to not only kill Duncan Kincaid, which is kind of set up in the trailers, but apparently take on some velociraptors. It says here the D-Rex villain is going to be defeated by the three Spinosauruses. D-Rex kills Duncan Kincaid and a couple raptors. And then once again, the D-Rex is old and a failed experiment. So a lot of this makes sense and is stuff that we've already kind of been seeing set up in the trailers, and a lot of this leaks makes so much sense to me because it just goes way too into detail for me to not really believe in, and it also just lines up perfectly with the plot that we're already hearing. A lot of this sounds like very much generic Hollywood plot, them finding notes in a lab that explains the D-Rex and everything like that, all stuff that we've seen in Hollywood movies before. So comment down below, guys, let me know what you think about these huge reveals that ultimately the D-Rex is going to kill Duncan Kincaid and then also fight multiple raptors in this film. So we're set to see a lot of big stuff be explored on the screen.